Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming in to our Kathina Day, SBM Kathina Day celebration. Very happy to be your host today. I'm Dhammika, and we're happy to see very familiar faces like hi, Auntie Kema, or you just left. And we will have a lineup of activities for you. Many of you have offered ropes, but unfortunately, we are not able to host all of you at one location on the same day. So today we will do it virtually and you can participate from home. So Kathina Day is a very special day for us at SBM because it's a time of giving and it's time to express gratitude to the Sangha community, to the teachings of the Buddha, and to connect with our spiritual friends. So, and you can see this is obviously not taken last year because of COVID. But this was taken pre-COVID, where we have a very warm community and cozy community as we offer the robes, as well as the venerables will share the Dhamma to the devotees. And you can see we really miss this community program, but we hope to see each other soon. And Kathina Day is a day where we have young and old come together to offer the robes, and this is actually outside of SBM's location, where we will chant the prayer, the Jaya Mangala Gatha, which is the verses of recollection of the blessings and the victories of the Buddha. And of course, we also have younger folks, and we have two pretty ladies with us here. One is my wife, and the other is Wei Ling, who is here as a volunteer. You all can guess who is who lah. If Wei Ling will be one of the volunteers to actually help us to offer the robes on behalf of you today. There are a few volunteers as well. So without much further ado, this is a good segue. We will begin our Jaya Mangala Gatha. So before we start our Jaya Mangala Gatha, we would like to also share with you what you can do during this prayer. And if you're familiar with the life events of the Buddha, this Gatha is actually the 8 hymn verses to recollect how the Buddha actually overcame each obstacle and challenges during his time with great virtues. And you will notice there's this repetition, may you have blessings of success. But what this prayer is trying to invoke is that actually you can have the blessings by recollecting the great virtues and invoking goodness in you. This is actually the highest blessing for yourself. And you create the blessings with a positive and wholesome mind, just like how the Buddha overcame these obstacles with a pure mind and great wisdom and compassion. So you can follow the hymn, the Pali chanting, or you can recite the English translation. Those of you who are very young, cannot follow, you can look at the picture. So we will begin the Jaya Mangala Gatha.
May the guardian devas Maha
Thank you for such a beautiful hymn. This is a hymn by Amy Uy, and as you can see, these are the stanzas of victory by the Buddha. And compared to some of the challenges the Buddha faced during this time, is quite crazy, because the Buddha actually, there were his cousin, there's Nalagiri, and these are the life stories of the Buddha, where if we really look into what the Buddha is actually trying to, the life representation of the Buddha, if we actually have these great virtues in our lives, we can be protected. And this is actually the highest blessings, because we have strong virtues and goodness and wholesome mind and body. So next up, we would like to start an offering puja or opening prayer. And in this segment, many of you who are part of SBM program through the years, you know we do the lights offering, incense, flower, water, and fruits. But many of you, I don't think you know what it actually symbolizes. And more importantly, the Buddha actually wants us to recollect his teachings. And lights represent wisdom, and incense actually represents morality, where the goodness and virtues will spread far and wide and influence positively the people around us. As we offer water, this represents purity, free our hearts, free from greed, hatred, and delusion. And as we offer flowers, remind ourselves the nature of impermanence, anicca, so important, especially in this time of crisis where there are so many changes, not only in our lives, but in our community and in the global community. Last but not least, fruits is action or karma. And offering fruits remind us that whatever seed that we plant, we will bear the fruits of goodness. So as we offer this to the Buddha, I can invite you to also offer to the shrine at home. If you have a Buddha, you can clasp your palm and follow us. And this will be guided by Bhante Dhammika, SBM Chief Reverend, who will lead us in this opening puja and prayer. Bhante, please.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vinja charana samno sugato lokavidu. Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manusana buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehi passiko opanaiko pancatang veditambo vinyohiti supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujjupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samici patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidang chattari purisa yoga niyatta purisa pungala esa bhagavato วกสังโฆอาหุเนโยปาหุเนโยดักขิเนโยอัญเจลิการณิโยอนุตตรังปุญญตังโลกัสสาติกันสารัปปดิเตนะดิเตนะธัมมังสินาติโลกดิปังสัมบุตตังปูจยามิตัมโมนุดังกันสัมบารยุตเตนะดูเปนะหังสุกังดินะปูจเยปูจเนยันตังปูจาบาจนะมุตตมังวันกันเดกุโนเปตังเอตังกุสุมสันตติงปูจยามิมุนิงดัสสะสิริปาดสาโรรุเวปูเจมิบุตตังกุสุเมนะเนนะปุญเญนะเมเตนะเจโหตุมกขังปุปปังมิลายาติยะตาอิดัมเมกายโยตตายาติวินาศภาวังอดิวาเสตุโนภันเตปานิยังปริกัปปิตังอนุกัมปังอุปาดายปฏิกันหาตุมุตตมังอดิวาเสตุโนภันเตกิลานปัจจยังอิมังอนุกัมปังอุปาดายปฏิกันหาตุมุตตมังกายนวาจาจิตเตนะปมาเดนะมายากตังอัจจยังกัมเมพันเตบุริปัญญาตถาคตกายนวาจาจิตเตนะปมาเดนะมายากตังอัจจยังกัมเมพันเตบุริปัญญาตถาคตกายนวาจาจิตเตนะปมาเดนะมายากตังอัจจยังกัมเมพันเตบุริปัญญาตถาคตสาธุสาธุสาธุ
For the opening puja, and we are very blessed to have Bante with us today. And today my name is Zheming, not today I'm Zheming by the way. So my name is Zheming and I'm the MC for you today for SBM E-Kathina Day celebration. So just to highlight what we'll be doing today, we just completed the Jaya Mangala Gatha, and then we have opening prayer. Next up will be the welcome speech. Before we go to the welcome speech, we'll do a nice segue into some activities that we would like to share with you. So SBM is organizing a retreat in December by Dr. Ng Wai Chong, both a good friend as well as he has been serving the community in many ways as the community, as well as he also has been serving the Buddhist community by dedicating his Thai life of practice. And we're very happy with him to share with us this retreat. Do sign up in upcoming events. Next up, we have CEP, which is Camp Ehi Pasiko. And Camp E-Kathina is one of the highlights of SBM programs for the younger teens. And I joined CEP when I was 12 years old with a lot of my friends here. And yeah, that was like 1 or 2 decades ago. I won't share 1 or 2, but it's at least 1 decade. So if you'd like to sign up for CEP, you can, the link is actually in the chat room. If you can look at the poster, it's 10 rings, and some of you watch Shang-Chi, right? So these 10 rings can represent maybe the 10 defilements or the 10 perfections or even the 10 great disciples. But it's for you to find out. That's why it's called E-Kathina. Come and see for yourself. And if you like, you can actually view our website. You can go to SBM and then you can look at the CEP, as where you can actually see the whole program flow and who are our organizers, who have been our previous participants as well. So right now you can also join us on Facebook, and we'd like to invite you in the later on. You can like us on Facebook at Singapore Buddhist Mission, and you can see some of the posts, some of the activities of SBM. All right, so this is actually a program that we are doing with Arena Sangha Dana. So moving on, we also have a weekly Metta Circle by Sister Tan Bee Lee. And this Metta Circle is a new program on every Thursday where we hope to create a safe space for people to come and practice the Dhamma together. And if you'd like to join, you can sign up on the upcoming events. So last but not least, this is Kathina Day, and in SBM traditionally you can see we have venerables, the Sangha, as well as the lay community coming together as one big Buddhist community to learn the Dhamma, to also give, practice generosity in act of giving. So, and it's a very wholesome program. You can see this obviously taken before COVID. So we hope that one day we'll be able to have this community together in one space again. And last but not least, today we are very blessed to have the conditions to arise for both lay Buddhists as well as Sangha to come together, especially in Singapore. And we have invited 6 venerables today in this meritorious occasion. And let's put our palms together and welcome the esteemed venerables. So introducing the venerables, we have Venerable Dr. N. Sumana, Nayaka Maha Thera, Venerable Dr. R. Ganasiha, Nayaka Maha Thera, Venerable Dr. R. Chandawimala, Maha Thero, Venerable K. Dhammika, Maha Thero, Venerable G. Dhamma Ratana, Maha Thero, Venerable E. Mani Ratana, Maha Thero. Thank you, Bante, for gracing today's event and connecting with devotees on this virtual platform. Some of you all might be unfamiliar with this virtual platform, but we are really just happy for all of you to be present today and gracing the event with the venerables, the Sangha, Maha Sangha. So we will begin with an opening address by SBM's Chief Reverend, Venerable K. Dhammika Maha Thera. Bante, please.
Good morning. Dear Most Venerable Maha Sangha, dear friends in the Dhamma, Singapore Buddhist Mission has organized most significant Kathina Puja ceremony. Kathina Puja ceremony is most important religious ceremony you are celebrating once a year. This is a very important religious ceremony. So on this day, I invited few entables because of the pandemic situation. We can't celebrate the same like previous time. So same as last year. So we are celebrating by Zoom. So I invited a few interval monks, other temples. First of all, Venerable Dr. Sumana Nayaka Maha Thera, religious advisor of Buddhist Volunteer Society. Venerable Dr. Jnanasiya Nayaka Maha Thera, religious advisor of Samadhi Buddhist Center. Venerable Dr. Chandavimala Nayaka Maha Thera, Professor, Buddhist College in Singapore. Venerable Dhamma Maha Thera, Ruan Buddhist Society. Venerable Maniratana Maha Dhamma Buddhist Center. On behalf of Singapore Buddhist Mission, I welcome all the venerable monks very respectfully, and I welcome all of you participating this great Kathina Puja ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante, for the opening speech. So right now we will proceed with the 5 precepts. And 5 precepts is a guide for us to actually create the best conditions to develop our mind and character. And that is what the Buddha has taught us. So always to be mindful and protect ourselves through practicing the 5 precepts. We will protect ourselves and our loved ones and friends. Why? It's because being mindful, we refrain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and have alcohol intoxication. So this 5 precepts will be led by Venerable Ganasiya Nayaka Maha Thera, and Bhante, please lead us in the 5 precepts. I invite all of you all at home to also recite this 5 precepts with a clear mind and a wholesome heart. Bhante, please.
To observe the 5 precepts, please recite Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Please repeat. Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi
Tutiyampi
Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi
Tutiyampi
Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi
Tutiyampi
Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi
Tatiyampi
Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi
Tatiyampi
Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi
Tatiyampi
Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Panchasila, the 5 precepts. Pānātipātā
Panatipata
Veramani
Veramani
Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinādāna
Adinādana
Veramani
Veramani
Sikkhapadang
Sikkhapadang
Samadhiyāmi.
samadhiyami.
Kāmesu
Kamesu
Micchācārā
Micchācara
Veramani
Veramani
Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvādā
Musavada
Veramani
Veramani
Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya
Surameraya
Majjapamadaṭṭhāna
Majjapamadātana
Veramani
Veramani
Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante, for leading us in the 5 precepts. So, right now we will be performing the offering of the Kathina Chivara. So, just a fun fact, actually, do you know during the Buddha's time, right, when monk robes were actually made from cloths that were used to wrap corpse, but that was really long ago, and after that it was washed, cleaned and dyed with color from the bark of the trees. And that is how the Buddha actually used this as a form of practice as well, and also to really not waste. So right today we are, of course, the robes now in today's day and age is not made from how was done during the Buddha's time, and so traditionally in the Buddhist practice we will offer only one robe. It's also known as the Kathina Chivara, and to one Sangha member. So today we have Brother Leo, who is the Vice President of SBM, representing the lay community, to present the robe to Bhante Chandawimala, Dr. Chandawimala. But of course, Brother Leo is not the young kid as you see in this picture here. However, may we all together as one lay community have a heart sing together and offer this Kathina Chivara to the Maha Sangha.
but all of you are participating and also connecting with this offering. The people who are connecting with us through Facebook and also through this system, and also those who are joining here, and altogether you should think that actually you are holding the Kathina robe like each and everyone. Because of this pandemic situation, and many people cannot participate with this activity. So that is why only very few number of people, the devotees, and also especially the youth group of Singapore Buddhist Mission, actually they are doing this service the nice way. It's almost like a TV channel here. I didn't see any temple in Singapore that doing this kind of very beautiful and a nice arrangement for this kind of parting ceremony. But now this is not time to deliver the Dhamma, but the Sumana will be giving a speech on the significance of Kathina after the offering of Kathina. And at this moment, I'm going to recite a special formula in order to offer the Kathina robe. So altogether, you can recite this formula to dedicate this special robe to the Sangha. So please recite together. Imang Kathina Jivarang
Kathina Jivarang Sanghasa Dema Sangho Imina Jivarang Kathinang Atharatu Imang Kathina Jivarang Sanghasa Dema Sangho Imina Jivarena Kathinang Atharatu Imang Kathina Jivarang Sanghasa Dema Sangho Imina Jivarena Kathinang Atharatu Say sadhu together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bante, for leading us in this Kathina Chivara. And thank you, Brother Leo, for representing us, both all of you at home, as well as some of the volunteers here at SBM, to represent this Kathina Chivara to the Maha Sangha. So right now, we will next proceed to a Dhamma talk, a short one, talking about the significance of Kathina Day. How many of you actually know what Kathina Day symbolizes? you can type in the group chat. And I'm always looking forward to Bante Sumana's talk, because his talk is really interesting, multilingual. Today he will share with us the significance of Kathina Day. Bante, please.
Very good morning and blessings to all of you here, as well as joining this partner ceremony from their presidents, maybe few hundred or few thousand. So we share everything with them together. 今天很欢喜大家供养袈裟的意思，因为世界的疫情的问题，我们要将改变。这个是一个很好的机会，多了解佛法，多了解世界的情况。我很欢喜看到你们呢，全部的年轻的佛友、佛弟子来这边带领，把功德分享给一切众生。除了新加坡，可能还有国外当家的，他们都可以跟分享。So I'm very, very happy today to see the young Buddhists organizing this Kathina ceremony in the Buddhist mission, sharing the merit and these ceremonies, all the good deeds with the Singaporean as well as those who participate around the world. 我看到年轻的人这样很有心，很有兴趣，想做这样的善业的时候，马上想起来，佛经里面好好记述的记载的这个Magha Manavaka Magha 的生活品质。今天这个 Kathina ceremony 我不用讲这个故事多一点，就是 Magha 就是一位年轻的男的，因为他的做法跟他的朋友慢慢分享了，他做的是社会福利的一种工作。他的环境他净化，跟朋友去玩的时候呢，顺便他的环境净化，那些垃圾拿掉，那边可以有种花的花，这样做了，慢慢一步一步他发展到今天，可能我所想的话，他在天堂会听的，因为他变成Sakra。所以Sakra Devendra 他的故事是在这个Magha。So this young man named Magha, so he was young boy with the friends go and do the playing outside environment. He see we have to clear those people throw the dirt and all those things from outside. So this is learning for everybody. Even young person go and do it, not throwing rubbish and dirty the place. They keep on cleaning. So how much the merit so strong, he became a Sakra, god of the divine beings. So that's why I say maybe still listening to me what he has done, and he enjoyed the merit with his friends. So since I have to say about Kathina, I shorten from here. Please you go and read Magha the story. Kathina is something very, very particular, very, very important ceremony in our Buddhist community. Buddha Sakyamuni, the time started until now, 2600 over years we have been practicing this Kathina. 公家沙是一个很特别的，我们一般上做的善业、做的功德中呢，很有效果的、很有功德性的那些一个特别的供养法。Kathina 不能够一个人随便来了，买了一件袈裟拿来供养的，不是这个。所以这个做的时候呢，首先需要受大戒的ภิกษุ。很幸运 ，Buddhist Mission 呢，这个OCFA 有了 Dhammika Bante 啊，他就接受佛陀的规定。接手了瓦萨呢 season， 就是讲我们就下安居完成了才可以接受 Kathina， 也不是一个人可以接受。你看今天虽然说我们很多限制，还是听到无为法师来啊，这个是一种啊，所以讲太多的话呢，时间不够。所以我们的规定是这样 ：To have the Kathina ceremony, we must join two groups. One side, the Bantes, monks, highly ordained monk, must be in this monastery or this Buddhist society to observe rainy retreat. So, Venerable Dhammika Maha Thera completed that requirement. So you are lucky to have this Kathina ceremony, then we need the devotees for that. So, led by our so young Buddhist community here, I am very, very happy to see, as I mentioned the Maga story, I always remember you are the present day Maga's boys and girls. Therefore, you completed that requirement. So, all others who joining with the new technology, they can share this merit. Either Kathina or any other meritorious deeds we want to do, we have some conditions to complete in our mind. 为了做什么样的善业，什么样的功德，我们有一些条件要做好的，我们要培养的一种条件。我也是想，《法纪经》里面所记载的一个故事。Abhitareta kalyani papa cittang niwarai. Dandang jakaroti kamang 简单的介绍的时候呢，我们要好好的尽量的参加我们心里面做这样子净化我们的人生，我们的脑袋思想。Abhitareta kalyani, have to do more and more meritorious deeds， 尽量做善业。爸爸cittang niwarai， 我们的脑袋里面所发出来的恶业的思想控制好。dandang hikaroto pun， 如果是为了做好的事情，你就是慢吞吞的 没有这个依着的心的话呢，我们的3业的不会完成的，因为慢慢它变回就变成我们的2业。简单的这个故事里面可以了解，刚才讲的这个法理文的，我现在用英文讲一点。If you want to do something good, you always must have the pure thoughts. Your pure thoughts can accumulate lot of merit. If say, instead of doing something pure, we keep on like thinking, want to do, don't do or not, keep on wandering the thoughts. 如果我们有叫做要做事情的话呢，要一直性的好好的那些3业的思想，没有的话就是慢慢吞的，就要做不要做，要做不要做，别人做我要做还是不要做，就是这种的心的话呢，自然的我们的心态变成2业的方向。所以要做的话呢，尽量赶快做。因为这个故事里面很简单的一个法纪经的故事 ，the Dhamma the story。这个故事里面讲是一位说160 Brahman， 一位 Brahmin， 他只有讲是名字要160，意思是你们好像看过18关赛节的时候，除了你们穿的这个一套衣服以外，还有一条布来将上去，是不是呀？看记得吗？放好像我们这个袈裟这样放的样子，那个是我们一起礼佛的时候也可以用，或是人家看了一个在家人他看到这条布呢，哇，他已经18关赛节的人，所以他们认识的。这个婆罗门跟他的太太很贫穷的一个家庭，但是他们的善根很好，想做好的事情的意念很高，所以他们2个就有一条这个布。那个时候他们的习惯，人家的风俗呢，一定要这个带去了，这样才可以接受8关赛节。现在怎么办呢？他们就做一个统一的，太太白天去受8关赛节，丈夫那个婆罗门晚上才去。我们现在的晚上很少有这种，当然是那个佛陀时代，还是好像斯里兰卡、泰国、缅甸国家，他们还是有了24个小时的受8关赛节的，所以他们的做法是太太早上到傍晚，他回来，然后丈夫去。为什么2个不能一起去那个一条布所以先太太带，然后丈夫带就去了。有一天他去了，佛陀说法，他听了供养袈裟，没有的话呢，供养袈裟还是可以用的布呢，供得很大。他听了佛法，讲哎呀，我没有什么东西可以供的，怎么办？他把那条布拿来这样供养佛。但是他这样做了，我今天供了，明天早上我的太太没有这个布，他怎么样去做8关赛节呢？8关赛节吗？他就想了，不能够了，做起来了。因为那个时候我讲是24个小时的这种做法的地方，他还有整个晚上讲的，然后他那边休息了，在第2次佛陀说法的时候，他又想，哎呀，供养供得很大，我要供。再讲，哎呀，明天我的太太用什么？ 没办法了，又收起来了。然后等到天亮的时候，最后一次、第三次说法的时候，他又开始，哎呀，我要供养，怎么办？他一走了，马上跑到佛陀前面跪供佛。他供佛了，很欢喜呀、因为那个要不要做的那个念头，他可以压迫。意思是他是讲要供养，不能这个心态改变的时候，一种好像一个敌人还是什么的话，哈，他的感觉，这个是什么心呢？贪心，贪心，所以他就马上叫哇，我已经压迫他，我赢了。所以他马上开始就大声喊：“我赢了，我赢了，我赢了！”三声讲的时候，刚刚好那个时候，国家的国王啊，国王来了，听佛法的时候，凌晨的时候他来了，他就谁喊的赢了？赢的话是我国王才赢吗？谁喊的？他就看的是，叫他的助手去看看谁喊的。然后这个一个老人家喊呢，那佛陀看了这个，跟国王讲，这个不是他赢什么你的战争什么东西，不是赢的，他赢他的贪心的恶业，所以他很欢喜。然后佛陀讲他的这个生活品质情况的时候，国王很欢喜，很开心，马上叫他们去给他2条布，他收了2条布，又供养给佛陀。然后国王看了，我给了他，他又供。佛陀说他只有1条而已，他的因为那个贪心压迫的很清楚，很结实，所以他供。然后国王再安排10条，10条给了，10条也他供了。这样给了8条，8条也供了，最后就什么都没有。后来国王叫他拿了特别漂亮的、很高级的2条布，他收了1条做佛陀睡觉的佛陀地方那个他的床上面的盖住了。另外1条在另一个地方挂上去，说这个是因为国王供给我的送给我的这条，就这样了。国王看了，他觉得这个人呢，他是就什么东西都是有的话，他为了别人供养的，所以就很欢喜，就给他的生活的一切需要，为了他跟他的太太安排给了。所以我们做什么善业的话，不要慢慢吞吞的想要还是不要的这种呢，尽快做。We want to do some meritorious deeds or good deeds. Don't keep on thinking, want to do, don't to do. Got the opportunity, do it. All of you young children, young students, so you have so many things to do, study or working people working and go to enjoy so many things. But today Sunday you have kept everything one side. Come and do all these things. That's why I'm very, very happy to see this situation. That's why I remember the story of the mugger. So you people also same generation people. So I wish you all more and more success, good health, your families, all of those people who are helping you to organize this Kathina ceremony. Also, we bless everybody. May they all have best of health, good luck, good health always. 我一起祝福三宝加倍，大家平安，吉祥如意，健康快乐。佛菩萨保佑，萨埵，萨埵，萨埵。
Thank you, Bante, for giving us the talk on significance of Kathina Day. And today, I'm Zheming, I'm your host, but we do have some young volunteers with us to represent you at home and those who have donated the robes and requisites. So before COVID, this is a great occasion for families to come together and offer together. Today, this will be done by our young volunteers to represent the lay community. And many of you have actually already offered the robes on your own time in the last 2. So even though you have already offered, as part of the SBM tradition, we will recite your name to signify the representation of this lay community, offering the robes and requisites to the Maha Sangha. And the recitation of names will be in alphabetical sequence, and I apologize in advance if we have recited some names wrongly. Ultimately, it's a reference and a symbolic gesture to us to share this robe offering ceremony together as a community. So may I now invite you at home to join in this session. I will start by reciting the names. Adrian Kam, Giselle Go, Gracelyn Go, Go Sia Kim, Alice Cham and family, Ellen Ko and family, Ellen Lee and family, Wang Chi Xian and family, Ames Stephen Marcus, Wu Mei Wen, Ang Jun Wei, Ang Kim Hui, Ang Yen and parent, Angelina Ng, Erwin Xia, Augustina Xia, Angelina Ng, Erwin, Augustina Christina Mori, Chandra Xie, Angeline Fong, Tan Yue Sing, Tan Wee Hao, Tan Suang Tong, Anthony George Ritchie, Bey Song Hua, Tan Kim Wing, Linda Bay Pek Nyoy, and Alberto Rich, Antolina Inkanda Hatsui, Antuli and Audrey Quack and family, belated Father Tay Ke Ju, belated father-in-law Tan Chi Tong, departed ancestors, Bernard Chia and family, Nicholas Ng and family, Vina Wati and family, and to all departed relatives and friends. Brian Chong, Barista Tam and family, Kas Ong, Chai Seong Ping, Chan Ah Kwon and family, Chan Kwok Fei, Yo Song Jin, Alphine, Chan Ying Hui, Late Chan Fuk Chan Chuan, Late Im Mei Guan Kum, Late Li Siu Kian, Chan Lily and family, Chai O Ming Cecilia, Cha O Mo, Chia CS and family, Chen Yun, Chen Yue Yun, Chai Shun Wu, Chen Yuan, Chu Chong Yong and family, Chi Ming Ling, Chu Xiu Ling, Gan Xiu Lian, Chu Zhi Ning, Chiang Fuk Kam, Chin Shan and family, Chin Wu Feng, Dennis Lim and family, Chin Sim Wu Yu and family, Chong and family, Chong Hai Luan and family, Chong Kam Sek, Chua Annie, Wang Pei Si and Wang Junxiang, Chua Chen Hui, Chua Kok Huat, Chua Kok Fuat, Chia Mei Ling, Chua Dong Shon, Chua Yu Han, Chua Yi Ling, Chua Hui Cheng, Tan Jun Le, Tan Beng Le, Tan Xiu Xiong and family, Clemente, Chong Bao Yi, Coco Ng, Sherry Ng, Clara Ng Jia Ling, Jia Jing, Cynthia Ong and family, Cynthia Ong and Kyopo, Daniel K. H. Lim, Cheng Chia, Dylan Ling, Cecile Lim, Thera Ang, Sandra Ng, Hagen Ang, Logan Ang, Desmond Leong, Wen Cheng, Dolly Chua, Liu Anju, Dr. Mrs. Yo Cheong Yi, Dr. Ho Kok Kyong, in memory of, Madam Chow, memory of, Chia Kong Shong and family, Edward Chua and Ura and family, Eng Li Ng Wai Song, Li Yi Ting, Erwin Augustina, Eugene Tan, Alicia Chua, Nicholas Tan, Tanjini, Teo Han Yuan, Boy, Basie Deal and Pesto, Jackie Tan and Josephine Tung, Fu Se Fong, Lee Se Hua and family, Madam Sid Gui Hong, Victor Sui and family, Fu A Lian, Gan Kwek Eng, Gan Ong Beng, Chow Wa Li Trompa Pai, Gan Siu Bo, Gan Seng Sun, Gong Hong Yu, Gan Siu Tin, James Lam Jia Wei, Gavin Liu, Han Chun Sing, Liu Hui Yuan, Liu Hui Xin, Go Beng Chu, Go Chu Hue, Go Chua Cheng Hui, Chua Yi, Go Chun Wei, Late Go Dong Kat, Late Chu Hong Ding, Hing, Late Teh Siu Kim Yi, Chu Siok Hing and all sentient beings, Go Hok Bao, Pun Ka Cheng and all siblings, Go Kin Kiang, Quack Bun Noi, Quack Bun Peng, Quack Bun Chu, Tan Siu Ho, Go Mei Yi, Go Mia Chai, Go Siu Kwan and deceased mother Tan Hui, Han Kai Juan, Tan Hua Lian, Han Dong Guang and family, He Kui Kwan, Zhang Yi Ping and family, Heng Xie Ngoi, Darren Kang Wei Jian, Kang Mary, Ho Fu Seng, Teo Sin Wai, Ho Chun Ming, Wu Wei Ling, Ho Li Le Clement, Cheyenne, Tam Wei Ming, Ho Wai Ling Joanna, Ho Liao Cheng, Lai Chun, Lam Chou Chao Wun, Lam Hui Chi, Hock Beng Madeline Ray Keng Hua, Hao Johnson, Kong O In Mei, Hao Eileen, Hao Jackson, Hao Xuan Ting, Hui Sing, Hui Sui Ying, in memory of late Hui Cheng Chao, late Gan Yong Hua, late Gan Cheng Chiu Ing, late Gan Chiu Siu Ing, late Wee Tek Jiao, Wan Sui Ying, Yang and Wisdom Teo, late Auntie Lo and relatives, late Hui Chong Chow, late and blessings for wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Hui Chong Kit, Hui Xian Han, Hui Su Li, Hui Su An. In memory of Ong Hoi Hoi, Noi Hoi, memory of Upali di Tesara, Irene Lam and family, Janice Chan, Gerald Yi, Tok Ming, Jason Tan, Kong Che Win, Nicholas Tan, Lucas Tan, Sean Tan, Jeffrey Tan and family, Jeffrey Yin, Albert Ying, Grace Lee, Zhang Shu Liang, Xie Yao Lan, Jeffrey Go Yi Mei, Jenny Lee, Jimmy Yo and siblings, Jono Rasli Kwok Su Hui, Aristo Lee, Kwok Jin Ming and family, Jue Yi Shun and family, Julia Jacqueline Quack and family, Kang Jui Seng, Kang Michael, Lee Teng Hian, and Alicia Kang, Karen Zeng, Sung Wesley, Wei Li, Kema Wong, Ko Chi Yu, Ko Man Ting, Ko Sui Ken, Ko Zuo Hong, Ko Wen Hao, Valkyrie, Lyra Wu, Wu Wing Kun, Guan Wang King, Kwek Zhen Ming, Amy Tong and family, Tong Ying Hok, Jia Bok Lan, Kao Heng and family, Late Jia Seng Koi, Kim Leng Chun, Da Kim Mui, Tong Huang, Lai Sei Moi and family, Lam Hui Yun, Darryl Ko, Lam Chua Wun, Lam Hui Chi, Lai Chun, Ivan Ho, Lam Sui Ki, Loa Billy, Hong Po Eng, Lam On Fu, Lam Yao Moi, Lam Yu Lin, Lam Si Ying, Lam Hok Sang, Late Shi Xiang Sui, Late Shun Bao Lan, Chi Ki, Late Lim Chi Ken, Late Madam Li Bi Chu, Tan Kun Ho Tony, Tan Ming Chuan, Li Wan Ling, Tan Ming Wei, Xia Jing Jing, late Madam Sai Sung Sai Hun, late Madam Sam Ah Chin, late Mr. Tan Yang Hua, Madam Ao Kwat Chu, Miss Tan Teng Wee, late Ng Ho Peng, late Ng Hong Ting, late Tsai Ho Yo Ji, Lao Chui Q, Lao Sok Chun, Lao A Yi, Tan Peng Nai, Laura Ban, Lawrence Han Kui Juan and family, late Ah Moy, Lam Kui Moy, Jonathan Chua Wen Rong, Jenny Lee Sui Lin, Lee Ching Chi, Tan Guat Po Ng Pei Ya, La Lee Ka Tek, Hong Ji Noi, Adrian Lee, Amos Lee, Ivy Sid, Kaius Lee, Lee Ki Wat, Lee So Eng and family, Lee Tek Hong, Teh Gek Cheng, Lee Wai Kui and family, Chia Hao Hui and family, Lee Yang Wei and family, Lee Teng Yao Vincent, late Tan Che Kiang, Lee Ying Hao, Teh Po Lei, Lee Wan Yu, Lee Yi Cheng, Lee Xing Li, Le Yi Yok Lian and family, Liao Shi Xiong and Alexander Liao, Andra Liao, Liu Kok Peng, Tan De Li Peli Sim, Liao Yi Peng, Lily and family, Lim Chiang Po, Go Le Kun, Lim Hui Gyok, Lim Fu Ni, Lim Su Kiat, Lim Jing Wei, Lim Zi Wei, Lim Kok Hin Eddie, Ang Kim Chu, Felix Lim, Lim Xiu Hong, Lin Jun Xian, Lim Hui Jun, Ang Xiang Yun, Lin Sheng Da, Lim Siok Leong, Tan Apu, Desmond Leong, Lim Tai Wa, Lim Tek Sun and family, Lim Wee Tat, Lim Lei Lin, Lim Lei Tin, Ng Meng Fong, Lim Hui Chun, Lim Xie, Lim Xing Jie and family, Lim Yuan Ling, Lin Zhi Yuan, Lim Zi Hui, Tan Kim Quan, Tan Kim Quan, Ling Fang Jiang, Long Ji Lian and family, Long Tian Tian, Lo Chao Kwan and family, Lo Ling In Fong, Lo Kok Wa, Loi Moi Chin and family, Loa Chin, Lai Wai Ling, Maggie Yu and family, Maria Ko and family, Madam Josephine and family, Miss Fun Tat and family, Madam Casey Ho, Rita Chua, Brandon Ang, Sharon Ang, Linda Chua, Francis Tan, Wina Chua, Madam Deng Xiao Hui, Mei Tak Fu and family, Michelle Pei Yu and family, Ming Li Tan, Mr. and Mrs. Adrian Wu and family, Mr. and Mrs. Andy Lim E Yu Chin, Mrs. and Mrs. Eddie Chong and family, Mr. and Mrs. Eddie Lim Hok Hin and family, Mr. and Mrs. George Lee and family, Mr. and Mrs. La Hok Ming and family, Mr. and Mrs. Lim Keng Tai and family, Mr. and Mrs. Nelson Ng Se Meng and family, Mr. and Mrs. Richard Lim Tiang Hock, Mr. and Mrs. So Hok Ki and family, Mr. Tan Sun Ho, Madam Jiang Fu Kam, Mr. Yo Guan Kai, Miss Hua Chin Lei, and Mr. Seng Sai Dong, Neo Ban Sun, Lily Neo and family, Neo Yuan Ching, Liu Gyok Ki, Neo La Kai Ling, Neo Ming Feng, Chu Tek Wee Daniel, Huang Wan Yun, Neo Wen Xuan, Neo Wen Yu, Nessie Ku, Ng Ah Meng, Gan Kao Eng, Didier Ng, Nozaki Shinji, Ng Ang Mui, Guat Bun Chu, Tan Xiao Chu, Haley Mark, Ng Guat Sun and family, Ng Kiang Chu, Ng Pek Lan, Pan Jali, Ng Kong Guan Yap Chi Chai, Oi Hai Hui, Ong Chun Hok, Fu Siu Yong, Ong Kim Leong and family, Ong Jun Quan, Ong Kin Tek and family, Ong Bo Chu and family, Ong Shu Ya Thera, Ong Liang Peng, Chun Ning, Tan Hui Kim Yo Bun Ni, Ui Cheng Ki, Ui Kim Yi Ki, Lim Yang Bing, Lim Eng Hua, Lim Eng Kun, Pek Ling Ling, Tan Pi Ki, Tan Ping Chi, Tan Keng, Tan Jen Kai, Tan Jen Ki, Tan Khai Ming, Tan Kia Hui. Phi Chui Ber, Nyo Se Po, Poon Tek Ming, Chua Bo Pi, and mother and all family members. Ong Chun Hock, Fu Siu Yong, Ong Yim Leong and family, Ong Chun Chuan, Ong Kim Tik and family, Ong Po Chu and family. Chang family, Kwa Ai Li, Go Tuai Kam, Gu Ai Kiang, Go Mi Kam, Quack Sim Ping, Ho Hui Jing, Quack Xiao Yan, Quack Yo Wei, Quack Yo Sing, Richard Lim, Lim Yu Liang, Lim Yu Sing, Rika family and departed relatives, Rose Day, Sally Ng and family, Selvi Yamin, Johan Yamin, Suryati Tani, Xia Leong Kai, Siu Kiu Moi, Seng Duan, Seng Gan, Mua Rat Yakan, Gan Chi Li Segan, Xiao Siok Bui, Serene Ho, Jiang Wei Wai, Ng Hui Hui, Max Ho, Serene Tan Sok, Chu and family, Sharon Tay, Shalin Shen and all beings, Sim Mok Keng and family, Sim Zi Kiang and family, So Chai Ha, Ko Hui Ling, Ko Lei Ling, Ko Boon Keng and family, Lee Hock Seng and family, So Chi Siong, Si Lim Kim, So Hui Hun, Chia Kek Ling, Ang Swat Ling, Chia Yao Kiang, Sun Huat Chong, blessed for good health, Stella Lim, Ng Ning, Stella Yap, Stephen Liu, Kim Cho, Yao Yin Fen, Sua Jin Fuk and family, Sua Narat family, Tai Sun Yat and family, Caroline Hong and family, Tan An Chu and family, Tan A Kian, Bang Chin Hui, Tan A Koi, Gan Kek Seng, Gan Chu Ti, Tan Beng Hyong and family, Be Sun Lim, Be Sun Sim and family, Tan Bok Beng and family, Tan Eng, Tan family in Malaysia, Tan Goi Kui, Lim Bi Kim, Melissa Tan Tony, Tan Hong Xia and family, Tan Ju Tin and family, Tan Dra Po Yok Wee Ting, Yok Seo Lun, Tan Kwa Be Wan, Pu Gek Ngyo and siblings, Tan Kia Po, Tan Kok Wei and family, Tan Mui Chu and family, Tan Sui Mui Chia Chok Chong Fat, Audrey Chia Kai Li, Go Sin Mui, Tan Pui Kim, Tan Pui Lei and Tan Hua Hao and families, Tan Xia Hua and family, Tan Xia Siak Hui, Helen Go Sir Hyang, Tan Ya Ho and family, Tan Yu Nguyen, Lim Gek Hui and siblings, or Tan Yong Seng, Tan Yu Xin Kei Lin, Ang Po Tiam, Tan Meng Chong and family, Tan Eng Wa, Tan Gek Hyong, Tan Tae Zhi Ming, Tae Han Ping, Xie Ming Chuan, Xie En Hui, Tae Miang Juan and family, Tae Peo Cha, Tae Xia Kiang, Chua Hui Eng, Quack Ji Kun, Tae Hai Seng, Tae Hyok Zi, Tae Yong Yin, Tae Wei Lin and all departed relatives, Tan Bi Kyok and family, Ti Xiu Ling, Teo Ji Do, Teo Chuan Keng, Tai Chu Lai, Felicia Teo and Victor Teo, Teo Xiao Boon, Terence Tung, Teng Hu Kui, Tan Sai Ki, Laura Chong, Seng Teng, Ted Teng, Lucas Teng, Tam family, Tan Tan and family, Tien family and Lo family in memory of departed family relatives and ancestors, Ting Po Ngyong, Chua Sing Yi, Florence Ting Wan Xian, Ting Po Sing, Chua Ting Sek, Venita Chua, Chua Yi Hyong, Harris Tiu Jia Wei, Lim Yok Tan, Li Shi, Li Yok, Kiet Bua Kim, Yen Tiu Leong Kim, Tiu Kai Meng, Li Chai Man, Li Chai Li, Tiu Pik Chen, Ng Tek Heng, Tan Kim Eng, Teng Yi Min Yvonne, Chiang Ya Kin Chin, Toa Peng, To Meng Chiang, Lim Amoy, Tok Ju Chuan, Chua Kam Di, Cham Long Luk, Tok Yu Quan, Tony Lim Ng Wah and siblings, Rija and devotees, Victor Tan and family, Lee Jia Yun and family, Vivian Lai, Vivian Low, Melvin Neo, Michael Celeb, Caleb, Elizabeth Caleb, Wang Sui Peng, Wang Kai Kang Si, Wang Kang Wu, Lim Bung Hui, Wee Gip An and family, Wee Xiu Kiang, Yap Wei Xiong, Wee Xiang Chi, Wee Tiong Chun, Sean in memory of Wee Tek Cheong, in memory of Wang Sui Yang, Wang family, Wang Lai Ying and family, Wang Xiu Kim, Ang Bi Lei, Wang Ye Geng, Wang Yun Wei, Wang Tai Bun, Li Chun Kiam, Lam Ji Hua, Li Chun Ling, Li Bun Chun, Wu Kok Guan and family, Wu Yue Si, Wu Yue Tong, Wu Tianjun, Lim Shi Yi, Wen Tianjun, Li Lai Lai, Liao Mingdi, Wen Yu Sun, Wu Pei Rong, Kate Lim, Zhuo Xuan, Lim Hui Kok, Xie Wenling, Jiang Maobin, Yang Fu Jin, Yang Dengbo, Li Xiu Ying, Yang Ho Jun, Yap Yi Chua, Yap Zhongxing, Yap Hui Ling, Yap Gan Ling, Wu Tek Bing and family, Yap Chin Choi and family, Wu Bi Ji Ing, Yo Cho Tiang, Yo Kim Ing, Nancy Jie, Caitlin Tan, Kagan Tan, Tan Bi Si, Tan Bo Si, Leong Yi Boy, Yo Kim Ling, Rosemary Ling, Millie Yo, Yo Mui Yi, Yo Seng Huat, Yo Yong Xiang Aaron, An Xia Xiu Chin, Yo Xian Tek and family, Yo Sok Hui, Yong Keng Dong and family, Yong Ki Zi and family, Yo Chin Chong and all sentient beings, Yuan Pek Yu, Yuan Yun Yi, So Chin Li and families, Yi Yong Hui and all siblings, Li Zi Wei, Zheng Bao An and family, Huang Xing Ling He Jia, Huang Xiu Xun and family, Lai Yap Ko Elise Tan, Xia Wang Ling, Kenny Li Nankeng, Kaylin Li Jialing, Kerlin Li Jiaxing, Xia Kiok Tiang, Lo Sok Luan, Xia Bei Wei, Jocelyn Tan, Pia Ning, Chris Xia Chuan Hui, Huang Yiling, Tan Meng Tek, Chan Boy Ing, Teo Kai Wen and family, Teo Yanting and family, Teo Wan Ling and family, Christine and family, Lim family, Pauline Teh Pei Ying and family, and lastly, Teh Zhi Yong, Gerard. So next up, we will begin our requisites offering, and this time round we will be inviting our young volunteer, Kimberly, to recite the requisites offering on behalf of all lay devotees. So may I invite Kimberly to recite the requisite offering. Sorry, due to some technical difficulties, Kimberly seems to have dropped out. So I'll recite on her behalf. Augustina, Aim Stephen Marcus, Wu Mei Wen, Ang Jun Wei, Ang Tao Lian, Valerie, Ang Yi En, Anasia, Bernard Chia, Bobby Tan, C.K. Chan, Caroline Hyung, Chai Xiaoping, Chan Li Li, Chen Defa, Chen Yun, Chong Yu Chin, Cheryl Go, Jia Lin, Jiang Jasmine, Chua Sing Yi, Tat Tai Sien Lim, Dara Ang, Debbie Tan, Diana Chia, Eng Li En, Eric Yo, Awat Xie, Erwin Xie, Esther Bay, Fu Fang Kai, Fu Fang Rui, Go Chung Wei, Go Xiu Guan, He Hui Yuan, H. L. Lin, Hao Johnson, Hui Sui Yang, Hui Song, Hun So, Irene Tam, Jackie Wong, Janice Tan, Gerard Yi, Tok Ming, Jasmine Tan, Jason Tan, Jenny Lee, John Lee, Jolene Tan, Joanna Ho, Jun Qi Lin, Justin Lee, Kang Mary, Ken, Kevin, Go Lei Ling, Go Ling Ji, Guok Su Hui, Li Hui Bing, Li Ji Chun, Li Kok Choi, Li Sui Lin Jenny, Li Wan Zhen, LHG Liao Shi Xiong, Lim Bun Lian, Lim Hui Wen, Lim Tai Hua, Lim Yue Ling, Ling Fang Jiang, Livia Sudiro, Lo Choi Guan, Lo Ying Fong, Loa Bi Ling, Lai Wang Ling, Lai Ri Ng, Martin Ma, Meng Wei Tan, Mr. and Mrs. Lau Hong Ming, Natalie Bay, Neo Lili, Ng Kong Guan, Ng Kong Kwan, Nicholas Ng, Ong Bin, Ong Kim Leong, Ong Jun Quan, Ong Wei Guan, Owen Choi Jun An, Pang Xiu Luan, Pek Ling Ling, Pei Ha Wong, Pimo Sunawat, Suwanarat, Wai Pui Chun Hong, Kwek Cho Ju, Richard Lim, Rika Teo, Ronald Tan, Samantha Ramjan, Xia Hui Kyo, Xia Leong Kai, Xiao Seok Boy, Serene Ho, Cheryl Lee, Shirley Shen, Xiu Lui Lun Yok, Xiu Lin Ti, Sun Pek Chu, Stella Yap, Tan Ai Hua, Tan Bok Bing, Tan Chiu San, Tan Jia Jia, Tan Ju Tin, Tan Ke Buan Pun Gek Nyo, Tan Keng Ling, Tan Kia Po, Tan Kok Wei, Tan Le Po, Tan Lien Huat, Tan Ming Li, Tan Xiao Huat, Tan Siu Kim, Tan Meng Chong, Tan Eng Hua, Tan Hai Seng, Te Lino, Te Isabella, Te Kim Jasmine, Te Ren Si, Te Ren Chi, Kim Deng Yim Tat, Teo Beng Xuan, Teo Jin Po, Deng Yi Lun Samuel, To A Beng, To Ju Im, TP Te, Viraja and devotees, Vicky Teo, Victor Tan, Vincent Lee, Vivian Lai, Vivian Ko, Wan Qi Zhang, Wee Xiu Keng, Sky, Wee Seok Hun, Wee Sui Wan, Veronica, Wee Na Chua, Wesley Sung, Wang Ming Mao, Wang Ye Gen, Wu Jianyong, Wu Bi Eng, Wu Dianjin, Yang Qi Qin Yi, Yap Yi Zhuai, Yo Kim Ling, Yo Seng Tik, Yo So Hui, Yuan Pak Yu, Yvonne Lo, Zi Hyung Hui, Zi Li Wei Bei, Zhi Yuan Lim, Ernest Lai, Kai Wen Teo, Rebecca Hia, Tan Wei Liang, and Lim family. Thank you so much for all your offering, as well as towards for both requisites and robes towards the Maha Sangha. And thank you, Maha Sangha, for gracing this event. Right now, we will be proceed with blessings, and before we. So let me share with you the program highlights. So after the blessings, we will have a Dhamma talk by Bande Manhinda, and then we have dedication of merits. So right now, may I invite the Maha Sangha to share with us this joyous blessings as well as joyous occasion. Together, may we all put our minds together and our hearts together, and may we receive these blessings, and may we also dedicate these blessings to all sentient beings. Bhante, please.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Maha karuniko nato itaya sabbapani sabbhavatto sambodhimuntamang etena sajjavajjena jaya mangalang jayanto bodhiyamule sangyānaṁ nandi vaddano evaṁ tuyang jayotu jayastu jaya mangalang tva buddha ratanaṁ osadaṁ uttamam Idam deva manussanam buddha tejena suntina santu bandhava sabbe dukkha upasaminti sangatva dhamma ratanam osadam uttamam varam varila upasamanam dhamma tejena suntina santu bandhava sabbe vaya upasaminti Sangha Sangaratanam Osadam Uttamam Varam Bahuneyang Sangate Jena Sundinanam Santu Bandhava Sabbe Mroga Upasamindute Kinchiratana Loke Vijyati Vividam Ratanam Buddha Samangnati Dasma Sonti Bhavam Gute Ratanam Loke Vijyati Vividam Ratanam Dhamma Samangnati Dasma Sonti Bhavam Gute Ratanam loke vijyati vividha putu ratanam sangha samanandi tasmaso bhavantu te natti me saranam anyam buddho me saranam varam etena sajjavajjena hotu te mangalang natti me saranam anyam dhammo me saranam varam etena sajjavajjena hotu te jaya mangalang natti me saranam anyam sangho saranam varam etena sajjavajjena hotu te jaya mangalam sambhitiyo vivajjanto sabbarogo vinasatu mati bhavantu antarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada santi bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sada santi bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba sanganubhavena sada sunti bhavantu te.
Thank you, Bante. And for everyone to be gracing this traditional ceremony of group offering. And may I invite all of you to switch on your videos and so that we can take a group photo in this virtual space. And while you're waiting to switch on your video, maybe I can do a quick poll. How many of you is the first time attending to our event? You can raise your hand if you have your video. Oh, wow. So have you been, how many of you have not been to SBM? So actually, you have been to this SBM. So SBM is actually a very small place in Nairobi Lane, but we aspire to bring to you the Buddha's teachings in the best way possible. So now, 5 of you have raised hands. So have you all come to SBM before or not come to SBM? Okay, so anyway, while we are waiting for all of you all to switch on our video, our host, Brother Ufong, will be taking photo. So I will seek your participation to hold your smile for 1 second after we take, because there's some lag over internet. If not, your eyes will close. So open your eye and smile long. So I count 1, 2, 3. Smile until your head. Okay, one more time. I will say and then you hold for 1 second. Clasp your palm and smile in 1, 2, and 3. All right, Wufong. So how's the photo? Is it all good? Okay. So right now, we will proceed to the next part of the session, and we thank the presence of all venerables. So today we have upcoming will be the talk by Venerable Manhinda. So before we go to the talk, we would like to share some activities, which is the SBM retreat that is coming up in 5th December. Do sign up. We have limited slots by Dr. Ng Wai Chong. And then we have Camp Ehipasiko. So those of you who were not earlier, I was explaining Camp Ehipasiko is our flagship program for our youth who have now grown into the working world, including myself. I will still consider myself youth. As you can see, this is 10 rings, and if you have watched Shang-Chi, it's mimicking the current trend in the community. So what does 10 rings represent? It's up to you to come and find out. So it's Ehipasiko. Come and see for yourself. It could be 10 perfections or 10 imperfections or even the 10 disciples. So it's the greatest showdown, and do join us. It's a virtual space, unfortunately, because of the restrictions, but we still can have wholesome fun in this virtual environment. Do sign up. I'll recommend to your family members. We have weekly meta sorry, it's a spelling error, but it's a new program. So every Thursday by Sister Billy is a safe space where we share the Dhamma. But this year, we did something really special. Last year, we actually collaborated with Arena Sangha Dana Fellowship, and we actually gave some health packages to distribute to the venerables living in Singapore. Now, a little bit more about Arena Sangha Dana Fellowship. So, Arena Sangha Dana Fellowship, it's a community, it's an organization that takes care of the local Sangha that are staying alone in Singapore, in maybe in their house. And a lot of these venerables are very old. They might be in the senior, some in their 90s. So, this organization is taking care of them, making sure they are well supported. And we have recently launched, actually just yesterday, we launched this ASDFL and SBM COVID Service Support Program. It was so well received. And we really like to thank all the people who have sponsored this program. So any of these Sangha members who are alone, that have either contracted COVID or in quarantine, we will support the Aruna Sangha Dana will support them. And unfortunately, one of their venerables in care did really get COVID, but fortunately it's asymptomatic. So they have about 60 venerables, local Singapore venerables who are staying alone and in their care. So if you'd like to support them, join their Facebook, and or you can contact them in the admin line. So moving on, we will now begin a Dhamma talk by Vera Manhinda. However, unfortunately, last minute, there's some Vera Manhinda need to fly back to Australia. He's actually stationed in Singapore for the last many months, but just 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, he need to travel back to Australia. So he did a pre-recording, but still it's Vera Manhinda, and we would like to hear his insight on how we can connect with the Sangha. So that's the reason why we are connecting with the Sangha today, and also why we partner with Aruna Sangha Dana. So if you'd like to hear more on how we connect to the Sangha, we will now proceed with the talk by Vera Manhinda. Enjoy.
Sukhi Hotu to all. Dear members, devotees, and Dhamma friends, this Kathina ceremony is a good way for all of you to make connection with the Sangha. It is through the faithful Sangha community that the Buddha Sasana, or the dispensation of the Buddha, is able to continue for more than 2,500 years. And it is very important for all of us to play our part in preserving the Buddha Sasana, especially in this time of crisis when the whole world needs Dhamma more than anything else, to keep the minds of the people in good order. There is so much of suffering around in the world today. Fear, anxiety, depression, they are all growing by the day. As Buddhists, we need the blessings, guidance, and protection of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And the Sangha has a very important role to play. So let us first understand the meaning of the term Sangha. The term Sangha in Pali and Sanskrit generally means community. In the broadest sense, the Buddhist community includes the fourfold order of monks, nuns, laymen, as well as laywomen, bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika. However, in many instances, the word Sangha is used to refer more specifically to the monastic order of the Sangha, the ordained bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, samanera, samaneri, like that. And in its most specific sense, it refers to the holy order of the Arya Sangha, comprising of monks, nuns, as well as lay followers who have attained to the path and fruition, or Magga Phala. The first members of the Sangha were the Buddha's 5 ascetic friends. They have been practicing extreme asceticism together with the Buddha before he attained enlightenment. After he attained enlightenment, the Buddha remembered them and went out to look for them, and preaching to them the first sermon at the Deer Park in Saranath. At the conclusion of the sermon, one of them, Kondanya, attained the first stage of sainthood, the first stage of awakening, and he requested to become the Buddha's disciple. He was the first bhikkhu or monk, and with further training, all the other four also attained the first stage of sainthood. And soon after, the Buddha met a young man called Yasa. Yasa was so impressed with the Buddha's teaching that he asked to join him. And this also convinced 54 of his friends to do so likewise. The Sangha now totals 60 monks, whom the Buddha trained for 3 months until all of them attained arahatship. That is, they were free from greed, hatred, and delusion. So at the end of the 3 months, the Buddha advised them to go out to spread the Dhamma. Buddha said, Charata bhikkhave charikang, bhaujana hitaya, bhaujana sukhaya, lokanukampaya, attaya, hitaya, sukhaya, deva manusanang. Wander forth, O monks, for the welfare and happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit, the welfare, and the happiness of gods and men. So this summarizes the Buddha's mission to the world and the Buddha's role to uphold the mission. The number of monks and the disciples, they soon multiplied until on one occasion, on the full moon day of Magha, that's 1,250 arahants, they gathered together without being informed. They all came together at Veluwana in the bamboo grove in Rajagaha. And that's where the Buddha gave the teachings of Ovada Patimok, and which has the Sabba Pampasa Karanang, Kusala Sampasampada, Sachitta Pariyudapanang, and so on. Yeah? That is a very special day when 1,250 arahants gathered. They all came together at the same time, yeah, without being informed. And that is called the Sangha Day. Yeah. Now, the early Sangha lived their life in a very similar way to the Buddha after his renunciation. They would travel either by themselves or in small groups on the highways and byways of India, never staying in one place for too long. They would sleep in caves, under trees, and simply in the open. If they happened to go through a town or village, people would often offer them a meal and place to stay. And in appreciation, Sangha members would relate to them some teachings they have heard from the Buddha or from their teachers and their teacher's teacher back to the Buddha himself. This is why so many of the Buddhist suttas start with Evang me sutang, or thus have I heard. The only period when the monks and nuns would stay in one place was for the Vasa, or for the rains retreat. And that is the rainy season in India. During this time, while walking over paddy fields, the grains, and they would the monks would inevitably crush the worms and insects small insects that comes out to escape from the rain. So lay people saw this and they became upset because they compared the Buddhist Sangha with other religious groups, especially the Jaina group, Jainism, that was led by Niganta Nataputta. And they would arrange to stay in one place during the rainy season. So after gathering the Sangha together, the Buddha suggested that they should also adopt this practice. And thus it came down to us as Vassa, or the rains retreat. So over time, Sangha members became loosely divided into two groups. One is the Vipassana Dura, or the forest dwellers, who usually spend their time in meditation retreats, developing calmness and insight. The other is Gantadura, or village dwellers, who are usually learned in the Dhamma, and they attend to the spiritual needs of urban communities. However, this is not a formal rule, as there are some who choose to alternate between living in the forest and in the city at different times of the year. Wherever the Sangha is established, it plays an important role in promoting and preserving the teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha established the order of the Sangha in order to provide opportunities for those who wish to dedicate their lives to the study, the practice, and realization of the Dhamma. And they will also be able to reach out to the public to promote the Dhamma. The Sangha community has been able to survive for more than 2,500 years, largely due to the wisdom and compassion of the Buddha in maintaining unity and harmony through a prescribed moral code of conduct known as the Vinaya. Despite the moral decline of our current era, there is still a number of authentic masters in the various traditions who still maintain the lineage of the noble Arya Sangha. The 9 qualities of the Sangha, which is mentioned in Sangha Anusati, or the contemplation on Sangha, refers to the qualities of the Arya, or noble Sangha. Through the practice of Dhamma, an ordinary worldly being can be transformed into a good human being, and from a good human being into a noble being, one who is totally harmless and who has distanced himself or herself from the tendencies of Loba, Dosa, Moha, greed, hatred, and delusion. The Arya, or noble Sangha, may be monastics, or they may be lay followers who have attained one of the stages of sainthood or awakening. Now, you may be familiar with the qualities of the noble Sangha, which you recite during the puja. It says, Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani, Atta Purisa Puggala Savaka Sangho, Ahuneyo, Pahuneyo, Dakineyo, Anjali Karaniyo, Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati. Here, well attained, that means well practiced, is the order of the Blessed One disciple. Upright is the order of the Blessed One's disciple. Wise is the order of the Blessed One's disciple. Dutiful is the order of the Blessed One's disciple. That is to say, the 4 pairs of person and the 8 types of individuals. This order of the Blessed One's disciple is worthy of offerings, worthy of hospitality, worthy of gifts, and worthy of reverential salutation, and is an incomparable field of merit to the world. The first 4 qualities are describing the unique virtues of the Sangha that the Sangha have developed through their practice of the Dhamma. Supatipanno refers to the Sangha community of the Blessed One who are well attained, that is, well practiced, because the path that they have entered is the proper path, is the proper Dhamma path. They are well trained in the threefold training of Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Morality or good conduct, Samadhi, the discipline of the mind, and Panya, wisdom. Therefore, they have either reduced or overcome the tendencies of greed, hatred, and delusion. Then the next quality is Ujupatipanno, that refers to the upright conduct of the order of the Blessed One. They neither indulge in pleasures nor they hide their shortcomings. The virtues of sincerity, honesty, and truthfulness, they are associated with upright conduct. Nyayapatipanno, that refers to the wise conduct of the order of the Blessed One. Their wisdom is not just from books or life's experience, but comes from the realization of the 4 noble truths, namely suffering, its cause, its cessation, and the path that leads to its cessation. Then the next quality, Samichi Patipanno, and this refers to the dutiful conduct of the order of the Blessed One. They uphold the Dhamma in practicing what the Buddha taught and verifying the truth which preserves the dispensation of the Buddha. They also become a source of inspiration to others, leading them to walk the Dhamma's path. Besides the above 4 qualities, there are 5 other qualities which specifically pertain to those who have attained the different stages of path and fruition, Maggaphala, referred to as the 4 pairs of person and the 8 types of individuals. These qualities are a result of merits and wisdom accumulated through their practice and realization of the Dhamma. They are Ahuneyo, worthy of offering, Pahuneyo, worthy of hospitality, Dakhineyo, worthy of gifts, Anjali Karaneyo, worthy of reverential salutation, Anjali, Anuttarang Punya Ketang Lokasa, that is, an incomparable field of merit to the world. What kind of offerings can we make to the Holy Sangha? Traditionally, there are 4 requisites that are considered necessary to sustain the life of a Sangha member. They are food, clothing, robes, shelter, and medicine. Worthy of hospitality, this means that Sangha members are worthy of being treated like an honored guest. Worthy of gifts refer to a gift or donation, often given to a teacher out of gratitude upon the conclusion of receiving teachings. Then reverential salutation, Anjali. Anjali is putting your fingers together, Anjali, Anjali Karniya, refers to the way we respectfully greet Sangha members. When we put our hands like this, it's greeting. But when we pay respect, then we bow down. Yeah. Now, this method of greeting is used in Buddhist community throughout the world. But there are also the more formal expression of reverential salutation towards Sangha members, ranging from a 5-point prostration, and that is when we bow down and both our knees, our elbows, and our forehead touches the ground. Yeah. And there's also a full body prostration. Yeah. That's how they pay their reverential salutation to the Sangha. Why are the Sangha worthy of offering hospitality, gifts, and reverential salutation? Now, in the last line, it explains that the Sangha is an incomparable field of merit to the world. Here, we use the word field, but we can think in terms of a farm or garden at home, right? Those who have little garden. When you sow some seeds in the garden, you find that even the same kind of plant will grow differently in different areas in the garden. Some plants will grow stronger than others. Some will bear flowers and fruits, and others will not. In the same manner, the merits that we perform towards individual, such as a stranger, a thief, or a holy person, will naturally have different results. We may have some joy in helping a stranger, but if we later discover that we actually help a thief who has caused harm to others, then we will feel bad and even regret our good deeds. On the other hand, when we come to know that our supporting a person who is holy and trustworthy and has resulted in benefit to many people, our joy will naturally multiply. The Buddha established the Sangha for those who wish to study, practice, and realize the Dhamma, as well as to preserve and promote its teaching for the benefit of all beings. So when one performs a meritorious act towards the Sangha, the fruit of that action will multiply on the basis of the immense benefit of the Sangha's activities. This is how we should understand the different fields of merits, yeah, and why the Sangha, the Holy Sangha, especially the Arya Sangha, they are considered incomparable field of merits to the world. Now, the Arya or noble Sangha who have attained to the path and fruition or Margapala, and there are 4 pairs of person and 8 types of individuals. Now, what are they? What are these 4 pairs of person, 8 kinds of individuals? The 4 pairs of person refers to those who have attained to either the path or the fruition of any of the 4 stages of sainthood or the 4 stages of awakening. Altogether, they form the 8 kinds of individuals. Even though the duration separating one who has attained the path and one who has attained the fruition, they may be as little as that of a finger snap, just a little. The path to liberation involves the breaking of the 10 fetters which binds us to samsara, yeah, to this cycle of birth and death. These 10 fetters or dasa sangyojana, they are Sakkaya Ditthi, Vicikicca, Silabbata Paramasa. These are the first 3 fetters, yeah? And the first fetter is Sakkaya Ditthi. That's a self-illusion. And the view of the self as I, my, me, mine, ahankara, mamankara, the feeling of I and my so strong. That's Sakayaditi. When we are able to break this fetter, then doubts. We also break doubts and the adherence to wrongful rites and rituals. These three things, if we are able to break these first three fetters, then we enter the path, the fruition of what you call the first stage of awakening or sotapanna. Then the enlightenment would be assured within 7 lifetimes. Yeah. And the next fetter, Kama Chanda Vyapada. The next two fetters, Kama Chanda Vyapada. That is sensual desire and aversion. When one is able to keep in control of one's sensual desire and aversion, at least for 50%, that is how one enters the next stage of awakening, Sakadagami, or once returner. That means we'll return to this world just one more time. But they may be born in the Deva, in the celestial realms. Yeah. But they will not be born. Once someone has attained the path fruition, at least the first stage of awakening, then one will not be born in the suffering states as animals, hungry ghosts, and so on. Yeah. Only when desire, sensual desire and aversion, when they are totally eradicated, then one develops, enters the third stage of sainthood, Anagami, or the never returner. They don't return to this world of suffering, but they may be born in one of the pure abodes in the Brahma realm, in the Suddhavasa, and from there they realize, they gain their liberation. Then there are 5 other upper fetters, in order to attain to the 4th stage of sainthood or arahathood. Then 5 other things, 5 fetters to be broken. Rupa raga, arupa raga, mana, uddhacca, avijja. Attachment to form, the realms of form. Attachment to the realms of formless. Here, attachment to realms of form and formless because, those who practice, practitioners who get into jhanas, and some, although they have realized the truth, but they may have attachment to rupa, arupa jhanas, and that is how they can, what you call, they have to break this attachment, this craving. Then, attachment to form, attachment to formless, realm formless, and then mana is pride. There's still some pride, these things. And uddhacca, restlessness. Because of the pride, some restlessness may arise. And avijja, ignorance. Ignorance is only totally eradicated in the 4th stage, in the last stage of sainthood. Then, now those who have attained to the path and fruition of any of the 4 stages of sainthood, they are considered to be the Arya Sangha, or belonging to the community of the noble ones, regardless of whether they are monastic, that is, they are ordained members of the Sangha or even lay followers. Yeah. Now, just as there are noble Sangha members who are treading the Arahat path, according to the Theravada tradition, there are also noble members of the Sangha who are treading the Bodhisattva path. Yeah? According to the Mahayana and the Vajrayana tradition, those who have attained to one of the 10 bhumis, they have 10 bhumis, and the foundations, which represent the different levels of realization of emptiness. And they are also based on the Four Noble Truths and Paticca Yeah. So they are also considered to be part of the noble Sangha. The contemplation of the qualities of the Sangha enables us to recognize and connect with authentic teachers, and so that we are not fooled by those who have shaven their head and donned the robes merely for worldly gains. Remember, a shaven head and robes alone does not make one a monk or a nun. A true monk or nun who has renounced the worldly pleasures of life and taken to the Dhamma's path to reduce and eventually overcome greed, hatred, and delusion. So the contemplation on the qualities of the Sangha should also inspire and motivate those who have joined the order of the Sangha to live up to the ideal of a truly noble Sangha community. In the Mangala Sutta, the sight of holy ones, Samana Nancha Dasana, is one of life's highest blessings. Whenever we see the saffron-colored robes of a monk or nun, we should immediately be reminded of Buddha and the noble path he had shown to enlightenment. Yeah. Even though that monk or nun may not yet be highly realized, if seeing him or her reminds us of the noble Sangha, we will connect ourselves to the triple gem and the path to enlightenment. You know, the robes that we wear, the monks wear, they are called Arhat Dwaja, or the banners of the Arhat. Yeah. The Sangha, as a community, play a very important role in supporting both ordained and lay followers on the path to enlightenment. For Sangha members, it provides association with like-minded practitioners who have the same goal of striving for enlightenment. Yeah. The Sangha has a crucial role to play in promoting and preserving the dispensation of the Buddha and upholding a pure and noble way of life. Even Sangha members who have not attained to the path and fruition can contribute greatly to society, catering to the needs of individuals at different levels of development and understanding. They should, however, make a sincere effort to walk the noble path and to realize the truth in order to be of greater service to humanity. As the Buddha said, if the monk dwells rightly, this world will not be empty of arahants. Together, the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha are known as triple gem because of their preciousness. Why are they precious? Because they lead us out of all suffering to put an end to old age, sickness, death once and for all. They are the best and most reliable source of refuge. In the same way, when we are ill, we need to visit a doctor and take medicine prescribed in order to cure for our disease. In order to cure our suffering in samsara, we consider the Buddha as the doctor, the Dhamma as the medicine, and the Sangha as one who administers the medicine. When we recite Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. It means that we take refuge or we go for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. The Pali term saranang or sarana means refuge, guidance, protection. There is a more profound meaning when we say refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, because we are connecting ourselves with all the values or qualities associated with the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. In other words, we are empowering ourselves, making ourselves stronger and stronger, perfecting ourselves day by day until the conditions are right for enlightenment, for our final liberation, and putting an end to old age, sickness, death once and for all. Now, this is how we develop the strength, the courage and wisdom to overcome whatever obstacles or challenges that may arise on our spiritual path. Whilst truly going for refuge must come from deep within our own hearts, in order for us to learn to connect with the true refuge within, we need first to rely on external forms of refuge. Normally, we would do this by receiving the refuge from a member of the Sangha, whether the monk or nun will administer the 3 refuges, the 5 precepts, in a formal gathering or during a religious service or puja. Now, after going for refuge, we will then recite, we will receive the instruction on the Dhamma and how to apply it in our daily lives. In this way, the Sangha, or the holy order of monks and nuns, is very important, for they introduce and connect us to the Dhamma. And as we practice the Dhamma, we will come to know more about the Buddha. Very often, we have the opportunity to make this important connection with the Sangha through the practice of dana, or generosity, by providing the basic requisites to the Sangha in terms of food, shelter, clothing, that's robes, and medicine. Now, this practice has enabled the dispensation of the Buddha to be maintained for more than 2,500 years. The Singapore Buddhist Mission is truly blessed for having maintained the services of at least one resident monk throughout the last 40 years since its inception in 1982, and when our teacher, the late Venerable K. Sri Dhammananda Nayaka Thera, founded this mission. Our current resident monk, Venerable K. Dhammika Maha Thera, he has served Singapore Buddhist Mission for the last 25 years. So he is the longest serving resident monk in Singapore Buddhist Mission. And he has also established goodwill with all the senior monks, the learned Sri Lankan monks in Singapore that you see during this Kathina ceremony. So Singapore Buddhist Mission is really fortunate, and please keep it up. Keep up with all your good works, yeah? And may the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha be with you all always. May you live, and by the power of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, may you have long, healthy, happy lives, and continue to grow in the Dhamma's path until your final liberation is attained. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. Thank you, Bante. Thank you, Bante Manhinda, for the lovely talk. And right now, we are at the end of our session, but it really reminds us of the Dhamma. And this whole program is not only about just offering the robes, but to really connect with the Sangha in a very meaningful way that will benefit not only our lives and the community. And last but not least, I hope that you all have taken away something really special and continue this road of practice and in whatever stage of life you are at. So, like what Bante say, we are really very fortunate to be in this time where we can really connect with the Sangha, and SBM is also very fortunate to have Sangha members to share their wisdom and their compassion to the lay devotees. Right now, we would like to dedicate merits, and if it's your first time joining us or joining a Buddhist event, merits is a very special energy that we are actually invoking when we do good deeds in our mental state. So by recollecting all these good merits we have acquired in the last morning, may we all calm ourselves down as we close our eyes and recollect the day's activities, from the puja to the kind hearts of all the volunteers who have come together to share and offer the robes on behalf of all devotees, the Sangha members for taking time off to come down to SBM in this virtual platform to connect with all of us, and for all the volunteers on the back end who you do not see, working hard to make this program successful. By the power of these merits, may all of you find wholesome and be successful in your lives, both in the spiritual as well as the material sense, so you can contribute back to society in ways that will be plentiful and bountiful. And right now we will do traditionally in SBM on Zoom sessions, we will have a dedication of merits led by Venerable Heng She. And Venerable Heng She is a very, we are very happy to have connected with him, and so we would like to do this very special dedication of merits. You can read the English words and evoke the significance and the meaning behind the English translation of this dedication of merits. So without much further ado, we will begin.
As one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward, may all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
thank you so much for the dedication of merit. And you have not met Venerable Heng Sure. He's in Australia now, but he will fly to US. And we invited him during Vesak Day to do this dedication live. So we hope to have more opportunities to meet these venerables in the next year. We are actually planning out some of the activities, and do stay tuned. So last but not least, we really like to thank everyone here. You can unmute yourself or you can show your videos, but I would like to really do these credits because today's program cannot be done with the contributions from the Maha Sangha, the 6 venerables that you saw earlier, and the Kathina Day core team led by Tan Tan, Mason, Wu Fong, Ying Hong, Amy, Jimmy, Ernest Lai, and myself, and all the correspondence is with Mason. Jimmy has been doing the website, so thank you all for participating. And of course, the admin and finance team, SBM General Committee. But very importantly, those behind the scenes that you do not see, those who have offered the robes and do have set up and do all the logistics. So Zhen Ling, Wei Ling, Selvi, Lionel, Zhen Ling, Ernest, Kai Wen, Cleon, Nicholas, Si Xiong, Chao Hong, Yan Ting, Kimberly, Ming Xue, Wan Ling, Agnes and Jenny. And of course, Arena Sangha Dana, whom you have met, Sel, who have connected with us. So last but not least, we'd like to thank Zatterbach for actually connecting, Zatterbox for actually connecting with us behind the Zoom. You cannot see them, but this all the equipment as well as all the lightings and sounds are actually by them. So we're very grateful for them as well as Buddhist Youth Network. So if you'd like to support SBM program, do visit our website. And of course, if you would like to also support some of our programs, some of our activities, you can make a donation via PayNow, or you can send a check to us. So do like us on Facebook, Insta, and can find out more information on our website. So really thank you all for today, and thank you brothers and sisters. See you on the next activity.